Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 13 of the F1 1998 career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. Yes, really looking forward to this one. Just 4 races to go of the 1998 series, and it is still all to play for in the Drivers' Championship there. Eddie Irvine, a 3-point lead over Mika Häkkinen. He has 8 points over Michael Schumacher there, but David Coulthard, he's 47 points back now after a couple of mechanical failures. He will be looking to try and kick on strong and get himself mathematically back into that fight before the end of the season as well. Quickly, before we dive into this one, I just want to apologise for the lack of content over the last few days. Some of you might have seen, or you might still be able to hear in my voice, I actually came down with some illness, so wasn't able to do any kind of videos for a few days, but most of it seems to be behind me now. I've still got a slightly blocked nose, so I'm going to sound even more nasally than normal. But yeah, let's do this thing though, ready for the Italian Grand Prix. Quickly though, before we get into this video, I want to thank all of the names you see on your screen. Without their continued support of the channel, none of the work we do here would be possible. And if you want to get your name featured on this list, you can click the join button or click the Patreon link down in my description below and support the channel from just £1 a month. You will also get access to weekly updates about everything going on behind the scenes, and also occasionally some early previews on videos. So yeah, a massive thank you to my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters, and let's get back to the video. Well, moving on into qualifying then here from the Temple of Speed, we are going to be spending a lot of time this weekend on the red line, to be completely honest, but Ferrari, I'm sure they want to win this one more than any other, especially when you consider how tight the championship standings are looking at the moment. But yeah, top speed doesn't really play a factor anymore. Every team is limited to 200 miles an hour, so it's kind of how quickly you can get there and how brave you are on the brakes as well. I've opted actually to run pretty much middle of the road wings, just because you may as well have the downforce through the corners, especially with how slippery these cars are. As you can see, they're fighting it through the second chicane. But yeah, this is going to be a very odd Grand Prix, and one that I feel like probably is going to expose the lack of power and acceleration in this Arrows car. As you can see, Schumacher sailing off into the distance. Well, a little bit of a mistake then on the exit of Ascari. Just one more corner to go. Sometimes I still struggle with just how late you can brake in these cars because they are so light. But out of the final corner, big wobble, and we are lining up last place then on the grid here. Schumacher smashing it onto pole position. There we go then. Yeah, this weekend the grid order might be a little bit shuffled up, unfortunately for us. That means Jordan might be incredibly strong here. 5th and 6th for Damon Hill and Ralf Schumacher. They look like the best of the rest behind Ferrari and McLaren. We were only a couple of tenths away from Pedro De La Rosa and Riccardo Rossi, but yeah, it seems like the back markers are a long way away here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the final gearbox in the car, because we're starting from the back anyway, and that can mean we can get through these final few races without any problems. But yeah, that is not ideal.
We're back in Italy once again for another round of the Formula One World Championship. And what a great race is in store for us today here at the oldest circuit on the calendar. Monza hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes, and with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are 3 main things to worry about there, Crofty. Positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
Well, here we are then, trackside for the Italian Grand Prix. Then starting at the back of the field, I did remember how maths works and realised that putting a new gearbox in would have been irrelevant here, because we need another one before the finale in Brazil. But yeah, this is going to be a tough old race today. We'll see if we get any carnage. We'll see if we're, a bit better in race trim than a lot of the other cars around us. But I think, yeah, probably our point streak is going to come to an end here. Although I did say that in Belgium as well. So we'll wait and see as to how we get on. But waiting then on those 5 red lights here for the Italian GP. Mighty long hold, but it is lights out and away we go. Try and put that power down as we head in towards turn 1. And looks like we've had a fairly clean getaway then. Will there be any carnage into that first corner? Especially, yes there is. And we've got a VSC.
Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta.
That's like the 3rd time that's happened this season. What on earth is that? We're running on board then with one of the Benettons down in towards turn 1. Just gets squeezed behind a Stewart and causes an absolute roadblock. There I go, down the inside, but plenty of cars out of the Grand Prix, including our teammate, Chaos, to kick off the Italian GP. Well, I believe that might be the biggest pilot we've had so far this season. 6 cars out before we even make it through turn 1 then, so... Well, the worst we can finish now is P14, I suppose. Shame it was pretty much all the back markers that are out of the Grand Prix, and that it's only a VSC. Well, I was worried in Belgium that we were going to end up finding ourselves in a bit of no man's land. This weekend it might be even worse. Pretty much every car that would be a rival here is out of the Grand Prix. We've got 10 seconds to Riccardo Rossi, and every car in front of me now is over a second a lap faster. Am I potentially in for the most boring Formula 1 race of all time? Well, I guess all we can really hope for is either the AI battle and take each other out, or they battle enough that they slow each other down. We can still see Frentzen about 3 seconds in front of me, but I don't see much of a world where that gap comes down. One thing I must admit I am pleasantly surprised by, just how well this car takes the curbs. You would think a very, very light Formula 1 car without much grip would really struggle, but yeah, this thing seems actually pretty planted for the most part, especially over some of the bigger curbs in Sector 1. Unfortunately, though, we're losing about 8/10 a lap to Frentzen, and we're pulling out about 8/10 a lap over Riccardo Rossi. Ferrari fans, though, I'm sure are happy seeing Schumacher leading the way. Oh, Schumacher's gone! Michael Schumacher's out of the Grand Prix! He's had a mechanical failure! I've just jinxed Michael Schumacher then, and suddenly...
Let's get back up to racing speed.
Well, I got no idea who's leading this thing anymore, but that promotes us to P12 then, and Schumacher, heartbreak in front of the Tifosi this weekend. He is out of the GP. Team suggesting a new strategy. I mean, the tyre wears nothing here. We may as well stay out till pretty much the end, in the prayer that we get a safety car. Magnussen, he's got a 5-second penalty. No idea what's happened to Jan Magnussen then, but the AI are really slowing each other down at the moment. Maybe that could be very, very useful towards the end of the afternoon. As we get to 1/3 distance, well, we might be having quite a lonely race so far, but not as bad as Riccardo Rossi. We got cars in at last, so we're not going to be running in the same position for too long then. Lacey, Magnussen, Hakkinen. Oh, Hakkinen's actually quite far down the order. Damon Hill has got the jump on him, and Eddie Irvine, World Championship leader, still at the front of the field. Or the cars that are pit already. He's come out ahead of me then, so we're losing out a lot of time this afternoon. But Irvine, he is looking in control of this. Well, this afternoon might be the points haul that Jordan needs to get away from the rest of the lower runners. And yeah, Damon Hill and Ralf Schumacher looking very, very quick here. David Coulthard has actually come out in P4. So I believe that's effective P2. Zor Damon Hill loses a bit of wing there, so that might make Jordan's afternoon a bit tougher. He might have to dive into the pit lane again. I think we've still got a couple more cars to pit though. But yeah, Jordan battling McLaren here, as Hill's definitely got problems. Go try and have a look. What on earth is he doing, Damon? Come on, you've damaged your wing, man. What's the point in throwing a block like that? Oh no. Oh no, Frenson's gone. I think that was contact with Irvine. Here we go then, riding on board with Heinz Howell Frenson. Irvine to the inside. Oh, Irvine actually locked up there and was lucky to get away with it. But Frenson out of the Grand Prix. Oh, don't think it's going to make much difference. We may as well pit under the VSC then. Try and claim a little bit of free time from it if we can. We're moving over to softs to the end of the afternoon. Just because, again, tyre wear here is non-existent. As Damon Hill will also peel into the pit lane then. So it should be actually up in the points. Just by virtue. Oh, no. Hey, that's annoying. Really annoying there. As Ricardo Rosset then still hasn't boxed. Where's Magnussen? There he is. So he's also served his penalty. Basically then I think the objective now is try and keep Damon Hill at bay to see if we can squeeze a point. I'll sit rep then. Eddie Irvine re-emerged out of the pit lane about 8 seconds behind me. He's taken a second out of me on that lap alone, and I don't expect that to change. Okay, so Damon Hill then, he's not a second a lap faster than me. He's 2 seconds a lap faster. We are going to be in trouble very soon. There you go. Shows just how quick Damon Hill is. New fastest lap of the day. So, yeah, that Jordan this weekend is an absolute missile in a straight line. But, yeah, Rosset now has lost the place to Barrichello. So, well, I don't know when Rosset's actually going to bother pitting in this race, but we might just be in the points for a lap or so. There we go, Rosset finally in. With just over 10 laps to go then of this race. Barrichello, Jan Magnussen, those two Stewarts in front. But for the first time today, we are inside the top 10. I can't imagine we finish here. Here comes Damon Hill to the inside, maybe. Nope, he's opting to sit behind me for now. I'm sure this is a real showcase of just how slow this car is off the corners. See, we actually didn't do too badly in the initial drive there, but here comes Damon Hill. Goodbye. Nothing I can do. Guess we'll try and tuck in the slipstream then, but you can see everyone limited to 200. I mean, I'm going to try and put up a fight if I can. Oh, Damon Hill there, big wobble down at turn 1. And I'm too scared to go wheel to wheel with him. I mean, we're clutching at straws, but maybe Damon Hill gets enthralled in a battle with Barrichello and Magnussen. Either brings us closer or one of them loses a wheel. I mean, this has been one of the worst races for attrition so far this season. We have already lost 40% of the field. Oh, I can see up the road. Damon Hill making his move on Rubens Barrichello to try and put himself back up into 9th place, and I think he's gone and completed it, so no issues there. Will he have any problems with the other Stewart? I mean, to be fair, we've had quite a few lucky races in recent times. I probably should accept that maybe I can't score points every race. There we go. I think Damon Hill's also moved past Jan Magnussen, so yeah, both Stewarts now into 9th and 10th. But I think we just got to bring the car home.
We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon.
Okay, so fuel usage today has been a little bit more than normal. Still been able to pretty much run it enriched throughout, but we're getting pretty close to 0 extra.
You've lost access to one of the gears. We've lost one of the gears due to a fault.
Of course. I don't know why the gear wear has been so bad today. But with just over a lap to go, we've got a lost 4th gear here, which is not particularly ideal. Yeah, happy I didn't bother putting a new gearbox in, because this weekend we've absolutely shredded through it. It's at a 54% wear. It's gone up over 30% during this Grand Prix, so I'm guessing the gearbox really doesn't like being maxed out inside this mod then. And of course here at Monza, well, with the gear ratios, you're going to end up doing that quite a lot. But starting the final lap then of the Italian Grand Prix, to be honest, yeah, P11, yeah, I'm quite happy with that as a result. But of course, yeah, we were never really going to be able to do a lot against some of the other higher runners either there. Maybe, had the luck gone our way, we could have matched the Stewarts. But unfortunately, yeah, when all is said and done, no real chance of that there. Ricardo Rosset, though, shout-outs to him. A second a lap slower than anybody else. If my race has been lonely, I've got no idea how you want to describe Ricardo Rosset's then. But up towards the start-finish line, it is going to be Eddie Irvine and Ferrari that take the win here at Monza, and of course helps him out massively in the Drivers' Championship as well there. Is he Ferrari's hope by the end of the season? Is it going to be an Irvine versus Coulthard? Irvine versus Hakkinen final championship battle at the end of the year? Only time will tell there. But down in towards the final few corners of the Italian GP, the car now seems really, really slow. So I've got no idea what's going on with it. Feels like it's really, really struggling to pull up towards the top. But yeah, with how many crazy races we've had that have fallen our way this season, I think it was only fair that we had one that really hasn't today. It ended up being quite a lonely one when all is said and done, but we did still have a few battles as well, which I suppose is quite nice. Through the final corner, it is going to be P11 here at the Temple of Speed. Almost another point on the board, but sadly our points run comes to an end.
Here we are then, a thoroughly deserved win in Italy after another excellent Grand Prix. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again.
Well, I'm a moron and accidentally double-clicked back past the final race results there, but taking a look then, it was Eddie Irvine with the dub. David Coulthard finally finishes another Grand Prix late on this season, but a 54-point gap with just 3 rounds to go. I'm pretty certain he is all but out of it then, so it is looking like it's going to be Irvine versus Mika Hakkinen for the championship there. 11th place for us, I don't think we could be too gutted about, but it did mean that we lost out some valuable points to the likes of Ralf Schumacher, Rubens Barrichello and Jan Magnussen. Championship-wise, Constructors, we lose out to Stewart as well. Jordan, yeah, long way up now as well. So I think as long as we can hold on ahead of Tyrrell, we will be quite happy by the end of the year. There may be, if we get a big result, we can try and re-jump Stewart. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon when Formula 1 returns ready for the German Grand Prix at the Hockenheimring.